The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and ProSigns in Southern Hills Plaza.
I want you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show.
This program is brought to you by L81, a proud sponsor of Madison County School Sports Television.
Welcome back to the Head Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford, and we are here today at Jack Burford Chevrolet as our official Coaches Show sponsor. We are in a different location from last week, and as we said last week, we're going to be in a different location every time we do your show.
I can see there's some new walls going up.
New walls, new ceilings, new
Nice.
floors. By the time this football season is finished, and you guys are what? What do you think you're?
I don't know, but I thought we'd be sitting in like the bed of a truck this week or something out on the lot. I
We
wasn't
could,
sure,
or maybe a
so.
convertible.
There we go, yeah.
That'd be
do
all
it out
right.
of the car.
All right, we'll tell Mr. Burford by the time this is all over.
I like it.
So let's start with the big win against Madison Central Indians this past Friday night. That's the talk of the community.
Sure.
The final score was 32-27.
34-27.
Sorry, 34-27.
That's okay.
I got it wrong.
No, it was a good game. We worked really hard to keep it close as the game went on. We made a lot of mistakes offensively, but I was proud of the way our kids finished the ball game. You know, obviously we went down at halftime, but we felt in control of the game. We got to clean up some mistakes still, but it's early in the season, and that's going to happen, you know. And obviously we've made some changes in our personnel that led to some mistakes that we'll get cleaned up. But it was a great win for the program, no question. And
Right.
I was more excited for the win for our kids and the community. So.
Right. And it was an exciting game. For a fan perspective,
Absolutely.
it went back and forth, and it was an exciting game.
And it was a hard-hitting game. You
It
know,
was.
there were some big hits, there were some big plays, and you like to see that in a good rivalry. And I love this game because it's a healthy rivalry.
Right.
You know, the kids know each other, they're respectful to each other. It was clean, nothing was dirty.
Right.
I just think this could become a really good rivalry from here on out. I really think it can be.
Do you have it scheduled to play them again
Next
for the
year,
next year?
it'll
Okay,
be at
so just
Southern,
one year.
and I really hope we choose to keep the game. You know how it is when there's always going to be years where one team's up, one team's down, and years where we're close. But I think the programs are to a point now where this, 5 and 6A schools, this should be played every year, no question.
As a community member, we think so too.
And it should be. There's no reason it shouldn't be.
And the paper was saying that there was how many people there?
I think they estimated over 10,000. I know both sides were pretty full. It was just,
Right.
I saw people warming up at the games I hadn't seen in a couple years, and
Right.
there were so many people there on our sideline I didn't know, and And our fans, I mean, I was so proud of the way Southern's fans traveled. And
Right.
it feels like a home game wherever we go now, which is awesome.
Yeah,
So
because you had a big crowd even at the Rockcastle game.
they're
That
the
was away.
12th man now. I mean, our kids feed off of our fans right now, so that's
Right.
exciting.
Well, and rightly they should.
Yeah, it's a great. They're loud. It's a good fan
It is.
base. And
They've got the cowbells
Our kids
going.
are learning how to cheer now. You know, we're learning when to
Yeah.
be loud. So I'm proud of the way
Right.
Eagle Nation showed up.
Good. Let's talk about first half. Let's get right into the first quarter. Tell us your thoughts on some of the plays that you really liked.
Well, early on in the game, obviously they watched the Rockcastle game, and they decided we're going to make them throw the ball, and they blitzed their corners off the edge whenever it was run to them.
Central watched.
Central
the
was,
Rockcastle
yeah.
game.
Central
Okay,
watched
so
what
they knew your
Rockcastle did
system.
to us, and they chose to do the same thing Rockcastle did. We're going to blitz inside, and we're going to blitz off the edge. Makes you not be able to run inside, you have to run off the edge. So we had to go back to an adjustment our kids hadn't done in 2 weeks. We moved the receivers in.
Okay.
Well, the problem is it took us the whole first half to get our kids to remember that we did that 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So I was frustrated with our receiver play significantly in the first half of the ball game. We made the adjustments a little more in detail at halftime. After doing that, they came out, they made the adjustments in the second half, and it showed. But honestly, I told our kids, this is an intense rivalry. This is a home game here for them. You know you're going to get a lot of give and take, a lot of ups and downs in the first half. And we just told our kids all week, weather the storm early and we'll be okay. And I thought we did a good job of that. I mean, Central came out, they were playing hard, they were physical the first quarter of the game, and I thought our kids did a good job of weathering that storm. You know, our kids, we're just now starting to win. They're not used to playing in an overwhelming environment
Right.
emotionally like that yet. We've had 2 games like that now,
Right.
and it can be hard to focus. You know, we got to learn to focus better in that environment.
Right.
But I thought we ran the ball well, considering the lack of adjustments we made with the receivers blocking on the edge. And as you can tell, we made a change at quarterback. Aaron Sloan's going to be our quarterback moving forward, and we were rusty. You know, we've only had the kid for a couple weeks,
Right.
so there were some plays that he hit a big touchdown pass, and he threw a couple short there in the first half for interceptions as well. But we'll make
So there's good and bad.
Yeah, it's good and bad. But for a kid that's only been in our system for 2 weeks,
weeks?
I was very
Yeah.
proud of him and the way he played.
Yeah, he's learned your system pretty quick.
He has,
I mean,
and the mistakes he made are things that we will fix and clean up, and already have this week.
Easy
So,
fixes.
Yeah, so I was feeling pretty good at halftime, knowing that we had a whole new quarterback in, and
Right.
there's some plays I'm giving him on the sideline. I've talked to him about the footwork
right.
before he takes it out onto the field.
Right.
So it was very much like a learning practice game
Yes.
scenario for this young man.
Right. Well, I know when I interviewed you at halftime, you were in good spirits, everything. I mean, and you were behind at halftime.
Yeah.
So you were loose and seemed pretty happy and knew going
Well, we
in
knew exactly
second
what
half.
we needed to do to fix what was going wrong. You know, our defense is playing pretty well. We gave them bad field position a couple times, and offensively, we knew the adjustments. The kids weren't making them on the field. It's frustrating as a coach when you know what to do.
Right.
You know what? It doesn't matter what I know. It doesn't matter what my staff knows. What matters is what we can get them to understand.
Right.
So halftime gave us an opportunity to really break it down and say, this is what they're doing. This is what you have to do. Second half came out. We made those adjustments. They made those adjustments on the field, and it led to big plays as Damian exploded in the third quarter, and our offense did really.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Talking about Damian, let's just keep talking about him. He had 3 touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
this past game. So for the first 3 games of the season, he's had 14 touchdowns. You got to be extremely happy with that. I mean, he's got to be happy with that.
He's
probably wanting even more.
He's a touchdown scoring machine. There's no
He is.
question.
He's
But
so fast.
this was by far his best football game. I think he's really quieted some critics now about he's not physical. He can't take a hit. Can't run between the tackles.
Right.
Go back and watch his film. This young man ran hard.
Yes.
He ran downhill. He can, and I told him this is very much, he has some games where all he does is run 50-yard touchdowns. This was a different game. He had to run 5-yard run, 10-yard run, 20-yard run, 6-yard run. He had to fight for tough yards. They were athletic on defense. So I was very proud of him for doing that and weathering the storm. He had 27 carries, most carries he's ever had in a game since he's been at Madison Southern. So everybody, a lot of critics think he doesn't carry the ball enough, and I
Right.
think this game he showed he can do what we need him to do in our offense.
Right. Any other players you want to talk about?
There were some guys that stood out. I thought up front, Clayton O'Neill, our left tackle, played outstanding. Clayton continues to get better, and our center, Austin Sipple, has gotten better from week to week to week. Austin
And that's a name you hear a lot.
Austin absolutely played his best game of the
Right.
year. He's getting to second level. He's physical. He's making the right calls. Derek Howard played both ways. For a 270-pounder, I think he maybe didn't play 5 snaps the whole game, and he played well. And I think, our tight end, Andrew Miller, He's young. He's a sophomore. He hurt his back early in the game. There's plays where he's limping back to the huddle, and this young man didn't come out till late in the fourth quarter. He fought through it the whole game. Was very proud of the way he played. And then defensively, Aaron Sipple is all over the field. Aaron and Austin are cousins.
Right.
Aaron is our middle linebacker. He was all over the quarterback all night. He just makes a lot of plays. And I thought Casey Dion ran the ball well and made some good plays on defense. And I think he had like 8 or 9 tackles as well.
I know. They seemed incredible. They seemed ready.
Yeah.
As a fan, they seemed ready.
Yeah, we're getting better. You know,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of kids that have played for 2 or 3 years now and know what we need to do. I noticed this week in practice we're even better than we were last week because they're learning week to week, and that's what you want as a program.
I was going to say, that's the goal each
Yeah,
week,
you
so
gotta
that by the
improve
end of
every
the
week.
season, they're ready for
We
the
should be playing our
tournament.
best football
At the
in
end.
November, and
That's
that's
exactly right.
now we've been better every week we've played. You know, we played better against Central. Take away 5 turnovers, it's a different ball game.
Yeah,
So,
let's go there.
Yeah, hopefully that never happens again.
Right.
You know, you don't like turnovers.
Have you ever had a game where you've had that many?
Never.
No.
I've never had a game in my career with 5 turnovers and been on the winning side of it.
Right.
And that tells you that when you can do that and win a game, there's a lot of things going well. And when you have a kid like Damien, that happens. You know, you can make things happen. But we knew coming into this game, Aaron Sloan was a kid that we were going to give a good look in the game. We were going to go with him second series. If he did well, we were going to stay with him. Threw an interception down in the end zone, and I went over and talked to him. And the minute I talked to him, I love his personality. You know, I asked him right away, "How are you?" He said, "I'm good." And I said, "Well, good, because I'm going to throw the ball again with you." A young man that doesn't get down when he makes
Right.
that mistake at a place that he was playing before. You know, he had a lot of friends on the other sideline.
Right.
He could emotionally have gone into the tank.
Right. Was he nervous? I think that's what a lot
Probably,
of people
you know,
want to
I mean,
know.
I'd be
Because those
nervous.
were his friends. That was his
Yeah,
former
he was on that
teammate
team
from
3
2
weeks ago. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if I was him, I would be nervous. The way he
Right.
just looked at me, and I looked him in his eyes, and when I asked him these questions, and he was calm. And that's when I said, we're going to stay with him the whole game. I want to see what he does here.
Trust.
And
You
so
trusted
we
him.
decided to stay with him, and I told him, I said, good, because I'm going to keep throwing the football. And we did. And
You
we're going to
did.
have growing pains.
Right.
But you saw the touchdown pass he threw. He's got a cannon. There's times where I had to tell him how to run the play while he's taking the play in. You know, I'm giving him the play and saying, okay, you got to do this on this play. So there was no question. We were learning as we
He's
went.
still learning the system.
That's why, you know,
He's
there
still
were
learning the
mistakes.
ropes.
One of the fumbled snaps was the guard was too tight. He didn't pull the ball in and
Right.
bumped into the guard. So 5 turnovers, I don't expect that to happen again. One of them was on a punt return, which is no excuse for that.
Yeah.
But the interceptions, they don't scare me. We'll be okay.
Do you think any of those mistakes were just mental mistakes because the kids were nervous because this was such a rivalry?
Well, you get into it was hot. You know, guys
It
were
was
cramping
hot.
up. It was a hot game,
Yeah.
and it's a rivalry game. It's a lack of focus. You know, you got to be able to
Yeah.
focus.
And I saw Damien even cramping up in the fourth quarter.
And that's going to happen with him. You know, when he's running for 300 yards in a game, he's all muscle.
Right.
So when that happens and you have a kid that does low body fat, you're going to deal with cramps.
Right. Well, let's take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll get into halftime, and then we'll talk about the second half. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay. We'll be right back with the Coach John Clark Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford, and welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. We're here at Jack Burford Chevrolet, like we said earlier. We thank them for being one of our official MadisonCountySchoolSports.com sponsors. And where do you want to go next? You want to talk defense? Do you want
let's
to talk
talk
halftime?
defense.
All right, let's go.
Very proud of our defense. We missed tackles in the first half. We were in position to make the right plays. We missed some tackles. We were overrunning stuff. Our defense is fast. I've been telling people that, and people I don't think still recognize that yet, which is okay with us. But they were overrunning stuff. So, and we were missing arm tackles. Second half, we talked about that at halftime. Came out second half. Our defense only gave up 3 points in the second half of the ball game.
Right. You got to be happy with that.
I'm ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Our defense still has, our varsity defense has not given up a rushing touchdown on the season.
Now that's a stat I did not know.
It's exciting.
That is exciting, and as a head coach, I would think, especially being the defensive coach, I mean, you would think he's very excited.
Yeah, and especially our first season here.
Right.
3 seasons ago we gave up 40 points a game. Now we're keeping teams under 18 a game.
Right.
So that's.
You're going to get to the point where people are not going to want to play.
Yeah, and that's what we're shooting for is. We do have a great running back, and we've got some other tools around him, though, that people are learning about as we go.
Do you want to give a shout-out to any of your defensive team? I mean,
yeah, Tyler Hagan and Aaron Sipple, our 2 linebackers, are all over the field. I think Aaron led with 11 tackles. Tyler had 9 or 10.
Right.
They just make a lot of plays. Andrew DeVere is leading us this season with 4 sacks on the defensive side of the ball. And Aaron Sipple, the pressure he was getting on the quarterbacks was just outstanding.
Right.
One thing that is a stat that won't be seen is number 9. I've forgotten his name, but their receiver number 9 is an outstanding player. Mm-hmm. And we challenged Alex Lane, our corner number 2, to really lock him down. And if my memory serves me right, I don't think 9 had a catch in the ball game. I think Alex locked him down, and if he did, it was only 1. So I was really proud of the way Alex played against a young man that is a good receiver.
Right.
A very good receiver. And then their tight end's pretty good, and we did a great job of keeping him out of the game plan as well.
Right. What did you say to your team at halftime?
Well, I'll give you the TV version.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do the politically
I was
correct
upset with
version.
my wide receivers. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I was mad about the lack of physical blocking on the outside, and they weren't adjusting the way we wanted to. I was very angry at our wide receivers. So we talked to them very nicely about that at halftime. And second half, they figured it out real quick.
Right.
But I was disappointed in the way we just weren't getting done what we needed to on the edge, blocking-wise. In the box, I thought we blocked very well. We had some issues with a couple of positions up front throughout the game. We got a couple of younger guys their D-tackle, their 3 techniques, a very physical football player. We struggled with him at guard a little bit throughout the game. So we talked about that at halftime as well. But we made a couple adjustments halftime that to some plays that really helped us open up the running game in the second half. And I was excited that stuff worked. When you make those adjustments, you make them so the kids can make them and they can work. And that's been the case for us. Third quarter this season, we've outscored our opponents 43-14. And when you can do that, you got a chance to be pretty good. When you can make halftime adjustments and get them down on the field.
Central seemed to change some of their offense in the third quarter. They started throwing differently offensively. Yeah. Obviously, your team adjusted to that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for their staff on what they did, but
no, but I'm talking about the way you adjusted.
Yeah, I mean, my thought was they can't run the ball. We've stopped the runs. They're going to have to throw.
Right.
So we chose to get pressure on the quarterback. When you have a young quarterback, we're going to try to get after him a little bit, and I think we got him rattled a little bit, and that throws off the pass game when you can do that.
Were you at all thinking, okay, it's a close game. It was back and forth. Did you ever think for a minute that you weren't going to win?
I didn't. I felt like we were dominating the football game.
Right.
You take away our 5 turnovers, I think it's a completely different football game.
Right.
We moved the ball when we needed to move the ball. Defense was getting stops. I mean, there was a possession there where we got them 3 and out. They punted. We fumbled the punt, and then we got the ball right back again because defense stood. So I felt very comfortable with the way our defense was playing, and that's a hard, a game-changing situation like that where you have all the momentum and then the defense thinks they're off and they have to mentally go right back on can be tough on your team.
Right.
And I thought our kids did an outstanding job. So, I didn't. And late in the game, we threw an interception. We were up by 14. It was 3rd and 6 with 4 minutes to go, and I called a pass play. I've answered a lot of questions about that this
Yeah.
week. But,
Would you call it again?
I probably would, to be honest. You know, I can't sit here and say it's the right decision because of the interception. We were hit off the backside, which caused the ball to sail a little bit. Ball got tipped by our wide receiver and intercepted for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, it's always easy. If we get the first down there, everybody looks at you and says that's a great call because everybody expects you to run in that situation. You know, we're a team that has a mission. And down the road, I've done this long enough, our staff and our players understand that you can't be a one-dimensional team and end up playing at Thanksgiving weekend. You can't do it. You've got to be able to throw. You look at us 3rd and 6, we're traditionally a run team. We've got to be able to throw the ball a little bit. I didn't like the turnover. I didn't like the touchdown off of it.
Right.
So absolutely, it was my mistake. If it was a mistake on the call, no question. But I can't honestly say I wouldn't call it again.
Right. Well, and the chances are, if they did that exact same play again,
The route was there, you know, and
Yeah.
and he's a good quarterback. So
Right.
there's a good chance that call gets made again down the road.
exactly.
So
All right. Well, we'll take a break, and when we
Okay.
come back, we want to talk about Dunbar next week.
sounds good.
Actually, it's this weekend.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll be right back with the head coach John Clark Show.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. Madison Southern's head coach with the big win this past Friday night against Madison Central. I know everybody's still excited about it. It's still on Facebook and all the pictures of Eagles and
I miss all that.
everything.
I'm not on Facebook. So
Well, there you go. See, I am.
I got you.
I got kids. I got to be on there.
you got to be.
Let's talk about the shift that you guys did in the third quarter. That was pretty exciting, something a little different that we don't see every game.
Yeah, it is a little different.
Yeah.
We have some different shifts and motions in our offense.
Okay.
We've had these for a while, just haven't had the guys know well enough what to do. We'll move our tight ends around a little bit. This one you're talking about, we shifted the entire offensive line.
Yes.
It gives you a lot of teams will line up what they call an overload. An overload is where you might put two tackles on one side. For us, when we shift the whole line, we can get a two-gap advantage. So it's something we'll do occasionally. And to be honest, when we go back and watch film, there were some things that were there in it, but it was the first time we've run it live.
Right.
So now that our guys have seen it, they're like, okay. So
you did it, but it didn't go
It's hard-
exactly as you
well,
wanted
it did, but
Okay.
it didn't.
The hole wasn't big enough for
well,
Damien to
well,
go
it's
through.
it's either he didn't stretch it wide enough on one, and the other one, the
Okay.
guard didn't pick up his guy. But it's hard when you do that because you don't know how the defense is going to align. So your guys have to know their rules up front. So our guys, after going back and looking at it, can be like, okay, I get that now. So it's
Okay.
something we'll continue to play with. But
Yeah, it was a little
it's fun
exciting
for
to
the
watch,
kids.
yeah.
It's fun for the kids. It's fun for us to get to play with the X's and O's a little bit too.
Right, exactly. Let's talk about Dunbar this Friday night.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting. Home game.
Talented football team. Very athletic. Their quarterback is very Michael Vickish. He can run. He protects the ball well. He's got good ball skills. They're a triple option offense. this will be a tough competition for us. They're not very big up front, but they're pretty good. They're quick and athletic. So we've got to be disciplined in this game. We've got 5 turnovers this week isn't going to cut it.
Right.
So we've got to protect the football. But if we protect the football, again, I feel very comfortable with my defense on the field because they're fast. I feel comfortable with us playing speed teams.
Right.
And I think that'll show Friday night a little bit.
Have you played Dunbar in the last few years?
Never have. This is the first time.
That's what I was
mean,
thinking.
you'd have to look back, but I don't know if Southern's ever played 2 back-to-back 6A schools.
Right.
So, and we did that for a reason. We want to get this rivalry going again, and we need to play some teams with some good athleticism and a little bit bigger depth to get us ready down the road.
And confidence builders, too.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't get a chance to get into Lexington very often, so,
Right.
I look forward for opportunities to play Lexington schools when we can.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it'll be a home game, so the fans will be there. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's not like they're going to have to drive to Lexington, but I think they would come even if you did go to Lexington. So they'll be there.
And this is our military night. So
Okay.
so we encourage all the veterans to come out to the game, and we'll recognize them at the game. And I know some former players and also some former students that are current service members will be there as well.
Well, congratulations on your big win. 34-27. I know I said it wrong a few minutes
It's okay.
ago. 34-27. I wrote it down wrong. See?
It's a win either way.
It's a win, so
Exactly.
that's big. So, and we congratulate you, and we thank you for being with us tonight.
Glad to
And
be
is there,
here.
before we leave, is there any other thing you want to talk
No,
about?
I just a huge thanks to our fans. Our fans
Yeah.
have really come out. Our JV won this week at Garrett County.
Okay.
So as a program right now, if you include our scrimmage with our JV and varsity, we're 6-0 right now in the program, and it's taken a lot of work and effort from our boosters, from our parents, from our young men on the field to get to that point. There was a point a while ago where we would have been 1-5 at this point as a program. So we're just really excited about the direction we're headed.
Right, and keep everybody healthy.
Absolutely, and we've been able to stay pretty healthy.
Good, good. Well, congratulations
Thank
once
you.
again. Thanks, Coach Clark. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Samantha Burford, of course, with head coach of Madison Southern's football team, John Clark. So we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and ProSigns in Southern Hills Plaza.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.